Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Friday, October 24th. I'm Grant Olson. Here's some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A sheriff's deputy's sense of smell led to an arrest Wednesday in what authorities say was a major Douglas County cannabis operation. Travelers on Interstate 90 will have to divert throughout the weekend as they approach Cle Elum after it was struck and damaged by an overheight freight load on Tuesday. Rain is likely once again tomorrow and into Sunday, along with much cooler temperatures. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. The Wenatchee and East Wenatchee police departments have disabled a default setting on their flock safety surveillance systems after U.S. Border Patrol was able to access their license plate data without their knowledge. Both agencies use flock automated license plate reader networks, which upload images and data from remote cameras mounted along city roadways. According to police chiefs Rick Johnson and Edgar Reinfeld, flock automatically enabled its national lookup default setting, which inadvertently gave Border Patrol access to data. Both chiefs said their agencies now only share data with agencies in Washington, Idaho, and Oregon. The previously unknown data access surfaced in a report from the University of Washington, which found law enforcement agencies statewide were directly or indirectly sharing their flock network with immigration agencies. Washington law forbids local police agencies from cooperating with the federal government on most immigration matters. A sheriff's deputy's sense of smell led to an arrest Wednesday in what authorities say was a major Douglas County cannabis operation. The Columbia River Drug Task Force served a search warrant on an orchard property north of Orondo, owned by a Chinese holding company with an office in Mercer Island. There, they allegedly found more than 3,000 cannabis plants being illegally grown and arrested a 51-year-old man on the premises. The investigation began last year when a sergeant with the task force noticed the strong odor of marijuana while driving by the location. The site was drawing a large amount of electricity and had registered with the Douglas County PUD as a growing operation but was not licensed by the state. The arrested person, Yahweh Wu of Renton, was charged yesterday in Douglas County Court with unlawful manufacture of marijuana and maintaining a property for drug purposes. He remains held in the Chelan County Jail on $100,000 bond. 15 people are in the running to join the Chelan-Douglas Health Board when it begins its meetings in January. Two sitting board members, Confluence Health physician Dr. Bindu Nayak and vaccine skeptic Bill Sullivan, did not reapply to keep their seats on the board, which creates policy for the Chelan-Douglas Health District. Nayak told NCWLIFE News it's time to pass the torch to another qualified candidate. Among the 8 applicants for her seat, which must be held by a healthcare professional, are a pediatric physician for Confluence Health, a resource manager for Fred Hutch Cancer Center, and a mental health nurse practitioner. Sullivan's seat is open to a member of the general public. Applicants there include YWCA Director Rachel Todd and Chelan Valley Hope Executive Director Tamra Hively. County commissioners for both Chelan and Douglas County must vote on the final selection. The Women's Service League of North Central Washington is holding its annual diaper drive event this Saturday in conjunction with Make a Difference Day. Service League members will collect diapers, wipes, baby formula, and cash donations towards the purchase of those items at both Safeway locations in the Valley, as well as Fred Meyer, Albertsons, and Martin's Marketplace in Kashmir. Hundreds of thousands of diapers and wipes have been gathered for underserved families since the event started back in 2008. Those items aren't covered by any government assistance programs and are crucial to the health of small children. The gathered items will be donated to charities including Serve Wenatchee Valley, the Women's Resource Center, and Chelan-Douglas Community Action for distribution to families around the community. When we come back, travelers on Interstate 90 will have to divert throughout the weekend as they approach Cle Elum after it was struck and damaged by an overheight freight load on Tuesday. And our Wake Up Wenatchee Valley host Dan Kuntz mysteriously disappeared this morning after finishing up his regular show. We'll tell you more coming up. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
When you enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place, close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to abbys.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better. Here's a good-looking pizza, guaranteed to bring some smiles. And right now, it's on sale, so it's good for your wallet too. This giant is loaded with toppings and can feed up to 6 people. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. Only at Abby's Legendary Pizza.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Travelers on Interstate 90 will have to divert throughout the weekend as they approach Cle Elum. The Department of Transportation spent much of this week demolishing and cleaning up the bridge at the Exit 80 overpass after it was struck and damaged by an overheight freight load on Tuesday. The bridge at Bullfrog Road had to be taken down due to the structural damage. The detour is expected to contribute to heavy traffic backups and delays. Motorists both eastbound and westbound are encouraged to find other routes through the Cascade Mountains, such as Blewett and Stevens Pass. Our Wake Up Wenatchee Valley host, Dan Kuntz, mysteriously disappeared this morning after finishing up his regular show. All he left behind was a spooky videotape from his explorations into the haunted museum experience happening this weekend at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. We'll share part of it now, but be warned, the images you're about to see may shock you.
Obey the, what is it?
Obey the protocol and trust the voice. We've been planning this one since November of last year.
Is this your baby as far as this is what we're going to do this year, this is the theme, this is what we're going to do different as opposed to what we've done in years past?
Yes, we worked really hard this year to try and utilize spaces that we haven't been able to in the past. So this year, people should come and expect a completely different experience, not just in the scare, but it is more immersive than ever. It will encourage everyone to participate and see if they can make it out alive.
Ooh, now I'm scared. In years past, you would go in with groups of 10 or 12, I'm trying to remember exactly, with a guide, and it's like any traditional haunted house, Mark. You go, there's a beginning and an end and a bunch of scary stuff in the middle. You kind of made some adjustments. Things are going to be a little different this year.
Things are going to be a little different. So this year, there are 3 different options for how you will make your way through the haunt. Those groups will see completely different things and experience a completely different ending from the other groups.
This is not a one-man show. You had to have a lot of help to pull this off.
It's true. We've got a pretty big core group. So Laura Brown is my kind of creative director in this. I come up with the ideas and then say, all right, Laura, give me a head in a jar, and she works on that. So she's been great. We have some builders, and then we've got about 40 volunteers that have signed up to help during the haunt, and we can always use more. So if you come and you think it's a good time, let me know and I'll put you on the list.
You know what's going on. The buzz about this particular show has really gotten a lot of attention on social media. There are fanatics who love to do these things, and everybody's talking about what a great job you and the crew have done over the years. And this year is no exception. From what I hear from the aficionados of haunted houses, that you guys have your act together.
We're trying our best. We are going to turn over a new leaf in the haunt. So we'd love for people to come and tell us what they think. We're taking an escape room atmosphere and putting that with the haunt and kind of giving you a blended experience.
Is it 3 kind of different stories? Do you go like a beginning and a middle and an end, and you've gone through an adventure kind of a thing?
There are 3 stories. There is an overarching theme to all the stories. So what you're doing while you're inside the haunt, what you're seeing are different per track.
Do you talk to other haunted house people? I'm trying to think, what's the professional name for people who put on haunted houses?
I don't know if there's a professional name, but we call ourselves, we're looking for other haunt directors, and we do a lot of research into what others have put on. And, we have contacts with people that do large professional full-time haunts. And so we try to glean what we can to use in a building that we can't permanently build in. So.
And this building is about as good as you're going to get to have a haunted house in. First of all, it's historic. It's got tons of rooms, hallways, staircases. Mm-hmm. The building itself has a certain vibe to it. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. This is custom made to do one of these things, isn't it?
It's pretty close. Turn off the lights and add some haunters, and we'll give you a good time. And I have said this every year, but this year is no exception. We are using more space than ever. It is more square feet than ever, and you will see rooms that you've never seen before.
Coming up next, the Friends of Ukraine Refugees nonprofit organization is bringing its mission to a close after providing help to stabilize more than 200 Ukrainian refugees. We'll have more coming up in tonight's feature story. Rain is likely tomorrow and Sunday, along with much cooler temperatures. I'll have your local weather details coming up, as well as Eric Granstrom with a look at all the day's sports action as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after these messages.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or a relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa. Be sure to stop by this month and ask about a hot spring spa rebate. Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
The Friends of Ukraine Refugees nonprofit organization is bringing its mission to a close after providing help to stabilize more than 200 Ukrainian refugees. The initial announcement came through a Facebook post, with the board saying the nonprofit had, quote, accomplished its corporate mission. Board President Russell Spidell says the group has been seeing a decrease in Ukrainian refugees coming to north central Washington, which ultimately led to their decision to close the charity. NCWLIFE News spoke to Spidell and Vice President Susie Pitts about the nonprofit's accomplishments over the course of 3.5 years.
When we began, it was a result of the invasion of Russia.
Of Ukraine.
Invading a sovereign nation. A bully picking on a neighbor. And I saw an immediate need to help these people. There were millions of people fleeing Ukraine, and many of them came to north central Washington. When we started this, did we think this would end or stop at any particular time? I hoped the war would stop.
Right.
It didn't. It still hasn't. The refugee flow has stopped, and we've concluded the needs of the refugees here in north central Washington no longer need our help to be stabilized. That was our mission. But when we began this, it was out of a sense of shock of what Mr. Putin was doing and the fact that it wasn't stopping.
Each year that we've been in operation, which is now 3.5 years, there's been kind of a different focus. And that was not something planned up front. It was based on what we were able to do and what the refugees needed. And so initially it was helping people get into housing and just have a place to live. Then I would say it was helping people get employment, which was partly a legal process because you have to have a work authorization. So we started helping with legal matters and with people finding employment. And then this third year, our focus has been completely on legal work. I don't think there's any federal support or really state support anymore. So for a while they could access things like SNAP, money for food. They could access Medicaid for a period of time when they arrived, but those things came to an end, and so of course that would affect people coming.
There were programs under President Biden which have been discontinued, and so that may have affected the flow of refugees. President Trump has not discontinued temporary protected status, or TPS, for Ukraine. There are several countries regarding which the White House, the President, has discontinued or cut off TPS, temporary protected status, for refugees or people from certain countries. The President has not included Ukraine in that cutoff. So it is still possible, to answer your question, it's still possible to be a refugee, but we're not learning of any new refugees to our area. And I think that that's a significant development for us in terms of seeing that the need no longer continues for the mission that we began. We've helped them get on their feet, find jobs. Some of them are taking to English better than others. It's a very challenging change for many of the older refugees. We'll still help them as we can individually.
Honestly, I feel like the families they're busy. They're scrambling to work and pay their bills and raise their kids and, become settled in this community. And it's a long process, but I guess thankfully it feels like most people are making it.
Well, we want them to be on their own. It's better that they're not dependent on us, even though they may have been initially.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Friday. We started off a little bit on the wet side, but very, very light showers for us here in the Wenatchee Valley. And you can see as we look out our weather window looking up north, this is our Billy Goat tower camera, and there is Pateros right in this area. But you can see a lot of low-hanging clouds throughout North Central Washington today and widely scattered showers. Some areas picked up some pretty good rainfall amounts, but just very small amounts here in the Wenatchee Valley. As we get you, though, into the upcoming weekend, that rain will end late tonight and then pick up early on Saturday. And we expect valley rain and mountain snow, even moderate snow accumulations. And that's over Stevens Pass and Blewett. Also going to see some snow. I think we'll be okay on Snoqualmie Pass. It's about 3,000 feet elevation. And our snow levels Saturday into Sunday will be about 3,500 feet. We're going to continue with that mountain snow on Sunday. About a 50% chance we'll see some valley rain on Sunday. And then as we get you into Monday, things a little bit better, maybe some lingering showers, and for sure, much cooler temperatures. We'll talk more about that coming up. Unofficially today, our high temperature at 54 degrees. That's a couple of degrees below where we should be at 56 for this time of year. 69, our record high, and that was set in 1992. 45 this morning. 7 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 38. Our record low, 29, and that was set in 1983. So far, anyway, just a trace of precipitation at the airport, but we will update all this for you as we get into weather next week. Sunrise 7:33, and sun will set tonight at 5:56. All right, as we get you into the weekend, it's going to be a cool start to our weekend. Mid-50s in the Columbia Basin, Moses Lake, Ephrata at 56, 55 in Quincy. Warmer temperatures here, I think, as we'll see some breezier weather in the Columbia Basin tomorrow. Back in the Wenatchee Valley, we'll barely beat 50 degrees tomorrow. 51 for us, also Eniat and Chelan. 49 for a high in Leavenworth tomorrow, and 50 for you folks in Kashmir. All right, tonight we expect showers to end. That'll be late tonight. A little bit of a ridge building as this first trough of low pressure moves through. Still going to see some mountain showers into our evening hours with low temperatures tonight into those upper 30s. And then as we get you into Saturday, folks, it is going to be a wet one. Low pressure in northwest Washington. That's going to bring a wide area of rain showers. 90% chance that we will see rain on Saturday. It's going to cool down too, with high temperatures only around 50 degrees. For Sunday, our low pressure moves up just a little bit farther north, but it's still tailing some clouds and quite a bit of shower activity throughout the state. About a 50-50 chance for rain on Sunday and cool. Look at that. Highs only in the upper 40s as we end the weekend on Sunday. And then a bit of a break on Monday. Mostly cloudy and cool. A weak ridge will build in briefly on Monday. We'll see high temperatures into the low 50s. And then as we get into Tuesday, this area of low pressure will move north. And once again, we have a cold front coming down from that area of low pressure. That could spill some showers over the Cascades our way on Tuesday. A 40% chance of rain with high temperatures right around 50 degrees. And then we're in for a warm up as we get you into Wednesday. A very strong southwesterly flow going to create some breezy to even windy conditions on Wednesday. Partly cloudy skies and warmer. High temperatures back up into the mid 50s where we should be for this time of year. And then on Thursday, a very quiet day. Just some high clouds throughout Washington state on Thursday. Pretty much seasonal temperatures with highs then into the mid 50s. All right, your 7-day forecast now, and it's brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. Tonight, 38 degrees our overnight low, and get ready for a wet weekend. 90% chance of rain Saturday, a 50% chance of rain on Sunday. Look at that high on Sunday, only 49 degrees. And then we'll warm up a little bit on Monday before a few showers move back in on Tuesday and 50. And then we'll see partly cloudy skies both Wednesday and Thursday with high temperatures back into the mid 50s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Happy finally Friday. Game 1 of the World Series is tonight at Rogers Center in Toronto. Tonight's game starts, well, it's underway right now on Fox. Game 2 also in Toronto tomorrow at 5. The series shifts to LA for games 3 and 4, Monday and Tuesday, all at 5 o'clock on Fox. College football schedule for our Northwest teams begins tomorrow at noon. That's when Eastern Washington visits Weber State on ESPN+. Washington hosts number 24 Illinois. That'll be at 12:30 on the Big Ten Network. Washington State is back home in Pullman, hosting Toledo at 12:30. That's on the C-Dub Network. Central Washington is on the road at Midwestern State at 5 o'clock. Seattle Kraken got back on the winning track last night in Winnipeg. Jaden Schwartz scored twice, while Jordan Eberle added a third goal as Seattle shut out the Jets 3-0. Joey Decord earned a shutout, first of the year for Seattle, stopping all 32 shots he faced. Kraken return home tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to host Edmonton. That'll be on Kong TV. The Wenatchee Wild have 2 WHL games this weekend, beginning tonight in Penticton. Tonight's game starts at 7:05 as the 2 old BCHL foes face off. Wenatchee's back home tomorrow in the Town Toyota Center at 6 o'clock to face Tri-City. You can go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com to get your tickets. The Wenatchee Panthers celebrate homecoming tonight in the Apple Bowl against Sunnyside. Panthers are trying to win a 3rd game in a row for the first time since 2019. Coach Taylor Mitchell says Wenatchee and Sunnyside are fairly evenly matched.
Our kids have been focused. I haven't been able to tell at practice this week. I think our kids have been focused out here, which has been great to see. There's a lot on the line tonight. Playing for a 3 seed or 4 seed into the playoffs. We haven't beat these guys since 2019. It's a smash mouth team, kind of just like us. So I anticipate it's going to be a physical football game. So I feel like our kids have really been present at practice this week and focused at the task at hand.
The Grizzlies feature a top rusher and top passer in the Big Nine. Senior linebacker Ryan Rainbolt says he's up for the challenge.
When we play them in team camp in the summer, we go at it. We play hard. We both gets a little physical, get a little rowdy, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a dogfight, and it's going to come down to whoever wants it more, I think.
How do you keep that in check with your emotions and not get, over the top and have some flags flying with extracurricular stuff?
Yeah, it's honestly really hard because a lot of team camp, we fought them like 3-4 times. So, yeah, it's just going to
literally, right?
Oh, yeah. Big fights. So, honestly, it's just going to be a matter of keeping our cool, do what we do, just stay calm.
I have a longer version of my talks with the coaches and players. That's on our Friday, or make that the Prep Football Insider. That's on the website at NCWLIFE.com if you'd like to find more on that. Wenatchee and Sunnyside kick off at 7 o'clock. Watch Grant Olson and Brandon Hartley with the call, beginning with the pregame starting at 6:30 on the NCW Life channel. Now, Eastmont is off until tomorrow when they'll travel to Enumclaw for a 1 o'clock kickoff. Coach Jay Foster says both teams will try to control the ground game.
Well, tough physical team. We actually scrimmaged them at Central Camp a couple years ago, so we kind of know what their makeup is, and watching them on film, nothing's changed. I mean, they're an I formation team that just wants to old school pound you. And so the game will be over in less than 2 hours, just like last week's was, which is good. We'll come back a little bit sooner. But for us, it's a great opportunity just to redeem ourselves. I keep telling the team, I think we're a really good football team. We gave one away in the first game, and this game was just a great high school football game. So, I think we've just got to go out. We take care of business, which I think we're more than capable of doing. We'll get right back on track and go again.
Enumclaw is undefeated and ranked among the top teams across the state in the 3A football poll. Eastmont senior safeties Jackson Kenyon and Ty Shaw hope they can continue the efforts put forth last week against Moses Lake.
Yeah. It's kind of plays into what we do well. Like, we stopped the run well, other than last week because we weren't really prepared for it. But we stopped the run well, and they want to run the ball. Just I formation, downhill, run the ball.
First of all, coming off interception, and I understand that was your first of your career for Eastmont High School?
Yes, it was.
Tell me about that and what helped set that up. Practice, film study?
Definitely film and coaches. I would shout out to Coach Foster. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be knowing what I was doing. It was definitely nerve-wracking. I noticed I did kind of run the wrong way, but I saw it, and but it felt good. It was awesome.
Meanwhile, Moses Lake is home tonight against West Valley. Davis faces Eisenhower. It's the battle for the bronze shoe in Chelan tonight when Kashmir comes calling. Bulldogs have a 10-game winning streak in the series. That kicks off at 7 o'clock. Other SCAC games tomorrow, or actually tonight, finds Royal at Natchez Valley. County Benton visits College Place, while Luke will host Zilla and Connell visits Wapato. Quincy is home and Seawack play tonight, hosting East Valley. Freda visits Sela. Ellensburg welcomes Prosser. Othello visits Toppenish. Grandview hosts a non-league game against the Tri-City Prep team. Omak is hosting Cascade to go for the regular season Caribou Trail League title. There you see the bronze shoe trophy as Chelan will host the Kashmir Bulldogs for that one. B football tonight. Okanagan is hosting Manson. Moses Lake Christian visits Bridgeport. Lake Roosevelt travels to Tonasket. Liberty Bell hosts Brewster. Pateras plays at Soap Lake on Saturday. Entiat kicks off at Oakville at 2 o'clock. Waterville Mansfield is set to play at make that Oroville. That'll be tomorrow night at 7. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for this Friday edition of the NCW Life Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also now available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great weekend.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.